Hey, welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy.
I'm Tim.
I'm Rod.
And today we're taking a look at a party game called One Night Ultimate Werewolf, One Night Ultimate Vampire, which is an expansion that you can add to One Night Ultimate Werewolf. This plays 3 to 10 people in 10 minutes. So it plays quick. And let's take a look and see what you get in the box.
Let's do it.
All right, so this is what you get in the box with One Night Ultimate. So, Rod, let's talk about these components.
Okay, so in the game itself, you're getting these cards, which we'll be playing as we go. These are the characters that you'd be playing. And you also have got these right here. These right here are to...
Mark the tokens.
To mark the tokens, exactly. And then, of course, you have tokens, which have the artwork. Now, the artwork is kind of Disney-ish type looking.
Disney-ish?
Disney-ish. It's, I think it's very neat. I think they did a great job in the artwork.
I really like it.
The card stock's really thick on this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would say for the original game, and it's just a great value. I think the expansion costs the same amount of money, but
it's the exact same amount of cards too. So,
so all in all, I mean, I think it's a great value, and there's just tons of different things that they've added to the game. So
that's more tokens. Look at that.
Exactly. And my understanding is one or two other expansions for it also.
Yeah, what I like about the components is that on a game that's hidden identity, like this could really get messed up. You have somebody bend a card one time, and all of a sudden you can kind of know something if something's been switched or whatever. So to have this really high quality stuff.
Yeah, super thick, right? And then that way also you can pick it up easy because it's necessary for something where people are actually secretly picking up cards or flipping cards. That you have it where it's easy to pick up, and it's not like a thin card where you have to slide it to the edge of the table and pick it up.
That's a huge thing. That's not just I'm glad they made these thicker. That's a great point on that. Okay, so Tim, tell us about the rules to this game. How hard or easy is it to learn it?
So this is the instruction booklet. It's one sheet of paper. If you've played Werewolf before, the party game, you know exactly how to play this game. And they have the app as well, so all you got to do is run the app, and it tells you exactly step by step what to do. Just make sure you have it playing really loud.
Yeah.
If it's quiet, then you can hear everybody moving and breathing and everything, and and that kind of gives it away. But yeah, with the app, you don't even really need the instruction booklet, just a basic understanding of how the game goes. But it does go over like the different people and stuff like that and tell you beforehand, so that way you can explain before you actually start the game what each person does.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so the app is a huge aspect to this game that'll help you play it. So download the app. It's got the timer in it. Explains everything like Tim said. And so literally you just close your eyes. We hit the timer on it. Everybody close your eyes. And then it tells you how to play the game. And so it tells everybody, to look at their cards. And it says if you are... the robber, if you're the insomniac, if you're the minion, if you're the hunter, and then it will tell you what to do on your turn. So the instructions really come pretty easy then at that point, and so then you just follow it out. So what's great about this game is it's called One Night Ultimate Werewolf. So if you've played Werewolf before, then you know that everybody goes to sleep, everybody wake up. Everybody goes to sleep, everybody wake up. And so it takes a long time to play through the game. This one, the timer is 5 minutes long, so you do the whole thing, and then 5 minutes starts, and at the end of that, it says 1, 2, 3, vote, and then you vote. And so at the end of that, if you're not familiar with the way that Werewolf plays and how this game plays, is there are different roles that each person is going to take. And so at the beginning of the round, you'll know who you are. And then everybody goes to sleep. So you close your eyes. And then the game will tell you, okay, if you are the werewolves, then you wake up. And then you look around the table and you see who's a werewolf, right? And then you close your eyes. And then it goes through each scenario or each character in the game. They open up their eyes. They get to do something. There's all different kinds of characters. And this is where the flavor of the game comes in. This is why Rod says to play with as many people as you can. Play with all of the expansions that you can. It adds all the variety to the game. So there's somebody in the game that might be an insomniac. And so, well, I'll do that one in a minute. But there's somebody in the game called...
the robber.
The robber. And so the robber is actually going to take somebody's card from them, right? And then swap that out. And then let's see who else is in the game.
The seer.
The seer. And so the seer is somebody that can look at somebody else's card on the table and see who they are. And so then that's a little bit of the puzzle that they now know, some information that they have. There's somebody called the Tanner in the game who wants to be killed. So when everybody wakes up, he's trying to convince everybody that he is a werewolf so that they'll kill him, or he's acting like he's a werewolf so they'll kill him. Somebody called the Troublemaker who's going to switch 2 cards without them knowing it. And so you continue to play the game thinking that you're a villager, but you're really a werewolf, things like that. There's somebody called, let's see, the Copycat who copies somebody's ability. There's an assassin who's now going to try to get someone killed, and if that person dies, then they win. The vampires come into the game and totally add something where now that you're on the vampire team instead of just the werewolf team or the villager team. There's a drunk that literally all the drunk does is reach into the middle of the table and grab some random card. And so he has no idea who he is, which makes sense. The Insomniac is a great one because they get to wake up at the end of the round and they know who they are. So they never, in essence, go to sleep. And so there's all different kinds of characters in the game. That's where all the flavor comes from. And then at the end, when the timers, or once all the people have taken their turns, then you just start talking. And then you try to find out who's who. And then it's through all of that banter that you decide on who you're going to kill. And then 1, 2, 3, vote. You point at one person, they're dead. If the werewolf is killed, then the villagers win. If the villager is killed, the werewolves win. Or if you're one of these other characters that has another ability.
The assassin is killed, or the tanner is killed, or the assassin's target is killed, or the vampires are killed. Or...
Yeah. So my recommendation with this game is to start out with the very basic game, right? Villagers and werewolves. And then you'll talk through it and you'll say, well, this is too easy. You know, there's not that much to it. Right. And then you start adding in abilities, or you add in characters. And then because it plays in 5 minutes each game, you know, or 10 minutes maximum, you know, you're like 15, 20, 30 minutes into this thing and you just want to keep adding new characters and trying different things and or taking things away because maybe you don't like that one or that one's silly or stupid, you know, like Cupid. You know, Cupid is you make 2 people fall in love and all this stuff. And
one dies, the other one dies.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand. But at least it's got enough people variety, in here that each gaming group can, you know, basically customize the game to how they like to play.
Right.
So that you're not stuck with like a certain set of people.
And this game to me really started off like at the beginning. I was like, no, I do not want to play this. This is going to be boring, slow, just silly. And we played the basic, and I was like, well, let's try another thing. And then again, before you knew it, everyone was like, yeah, let's do one more round. We got 2 more minutes, let's do another one.
Let's try this.
Exactly. It was very enjoyable. So I mean, it really turned my head on this type of game because I've always been kind of to this, but it was really fun. And
then the app makes it so easy you don't even have to think about it. You just say, okay, let's put Cupid in, let's do this, let's do that. Right. Boom, boom, boom. You're hitting a couple buttons. It changes everything out and go.
And the app, I think, takes it from being a game that is like an all right game to a really good game. The app does that much to it because the voice puts you in there, and actually there's some joking that goes on at times that the announcer does and that type of stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, like Tim said though, you might want to get a Bluetooth speaker or connect your phone to some speaker somehow, and just put that right in the middle of the table is what we did, and I cranked the volume all the way up because that's a downfall to the game is that because you're reaching across the table, you might brush up somebody or they're going to hear you touching their stuff, and so that can totally ruin the game. If that gets out, then that ruins it. So you want to make sure that that's not a possibility. At the end of our reviews, we like to do a simple 1-die rating. Should you buy it, play it, or hate it? So green means go buy this game and add it to your collection. White means maybe you wouldn't buy it, but you definitely play it. And then red means you wouldn't buy it and you wouldn't play it because you hate it. So we're going to get our die out. Reveal. Green, and white. Dun, dun, dun.
Shocker.
So we probably have already said it, but why did you give it a green?
So first of all, it's a quick game. So anytime that we're playing our time together, you know, we always run into like we have a half an hour left. We can play this game and we can kick it out. And I was very entertained while playing. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. For me, it's the quality of what you get. The artwork, I think, is awesome. It's fun. The app is great. And the one night is what sells it to me because I'm not a guy to get in the metagame of the game within the game and get into people's heads and all that kind of stuff over multiple rounds. I feel like it drags it out. And by the end of the night, I'm like, why did we play this game? This is terrible. This, I feel like we can plays quick, and then you get the enjoyment out of it.
Sure.
For me, it's a lying game. so I'm not a fan of those. So, but we have to deal with that. But it's like I gave it a white because it's something you just need so many people to play it. Because if you just play with a couple people, it's just not as fun.
No,
Right. Yeah.
Like
I agree.
if you had the 10 people around the table, it's a fun game. But so in that kind of situation where there's 10 people with my groups, there's probably 2 or 3 people that already have it. So there's no reason for me to buy it.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just not my type of game for purchasing.
There you go. So, all right. So that's our review of One Night Ultimate Werewolf and One Night Ultimate Vampire. We got a lot more reviews on our website, BoardGameCloset.com. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And as always,
Support your local hobby shop.
support it.
Support it.
Support it.
Support.
Support it.
Support it. Support it.
Support it.